There is one weakness that makes men easy to control, and the proof is in how often you betray yourself. It shows up in moments you barely notice. Think about the last time you said yes, when every nerve in your body screamed no. The time you stayed late at the office for a boss who doesn't remember your name, or the time you apologized to a woman who was clearly wrong just to keep the peace. That wasn't kindness. That was a security breach. You signaled something dangerous to everyone watching. Your boundaries are negotiable. Your time is cheap. Your respect is for sale. You aren't a peacekeeper. You are an unpaid employee of everyone else's ego. The world doesn't reward the man who is nice. It rewards the man who is dangerous but keeps his sword sheathed. Right now, you don't even have a sword. Most men walk through life with a handle on their back and wonder why they keep getting pulled in directions they didn't choose. You think you're reliable. You think you're the rock. You're not. You're a predictable asset. Think about the last time you felt disrespected. You replayed it. You imagined the perfect response too late. You carried it into your work, your sleep, your decisions. That wasn't emotion. That was control. Machiavelli warned that the man who reveals what affects him places his fate in another man's hands. The moment your inner state becomes readable, you stop being dangerous and start being usable. Here's the truth most men never see. The more emotionally available you are, the more predictable you become. The more you explain yourself, the cheaper your position gets. The more you try to be decent, the easier you are to control. In the next few minutes, I am going to expose the one weakness that makes you a puppet for every manipulator, narcissist, and low-value leech you encounter. This isn't about self-improvement. This is about social survival. If you don't identify this leak today, you will spend the rest of your life wondering why people only call you when they need something and forget you the moment they have it. Look at your hands. They are not tied. Look at your door. It is not locked. Yet you are trapped. You are held by something thinner than a rope and stronger than steel. Not by force, by a habit. Your need to be understood. Think about your last argument. You didn't simply state your boundary. You gave a 10-minute presentation on why your feelings were valid. You explained it. You defended it. You waited for them to nod, to apologize, to give you permission to feel the way you feel. And in that silence, while you were waiting for their validation, they were indexing your triggers. They weren't listening to your logic. They were measuring your desperation. They saw that you cannot stand being the villain in someone else's story. And now they will use that good guy image to blackmail you for the rest of your life. They saw that you cannot stand being misunderstood. They saw that you fear being seen as unreasonable. They saw that you need to be perceived as good. That information never disappears. Right now, in your immediate circle, someone is watching you closely. It might be a partner, a longtime friend, or someone at work. They make small moves, a joke that cuts slightly, a plan you are quietly excluded from, a pause after your message. They watch your reaction. If you flinch, they gain ground. If you explain, they gain control. Most men live with constant social leakage. You walk into rooms giving away information without speaking. You have spent years building a reputation as the reliable one, the understanding one, the one who never causes trouble. And what did that earn you? Access without respect. You absorb tension so others do not have to. You smooth conflicts that were never yours to fix. You have made yourself useful, not valuable. Machiavelli warned that a man who seeks to be loved instead of respected will eventually be betrayed. This is not about cruelty. It is about uncertainty. Power comes from being difficult to read. You are easy to read. If someone criticizes your work, you defend it. If someone ignores you, you chase. If someone pulls back, you move closer. Your reactions follow a pattern. And patterns are tools. Let's be precise. Imagine a work meeting. Someone takes credit for your idea. Your heart rate jumps. After the meeting, you pull them aside and explain that you felt disrespected. Pause. You did not solve a problem. You revealed one. You showed them exactly where pressure works. You confirmed their move affected you. Next time they know where to aim. A Machiavellian mind does not explain. It adjusts position. You were taught that communication fixes everything. It doesn't. Communication exposes. The person who explains the most usually holds the least power. Power lives in restraint, in unanswered moves, in reactions that never arrive. Right now, you are leaking power every day and wondering why life feels heavy, why progress stalls, why people push you around quietly. It is because you are trying to be fair in environments that reward leverage. You apologize when you did nothing wrong to keep things calm. You think you are being mature. What you are really doing is teaching people how little resistance they will face. You lower your standards to protect comfort, and comfort costs you respect. Machiavelli observed that people behave well only when they must. If you make disrespect easy, it will happen. If you make manipulation profitable, it will repeat. You have built an identity around being reasonable, but reasonable often means predictable, and predictable men are easy to manage. Underneath the mask of kindness is not strength, it is fear. Fear of being disliked, fear of being misunderstood, fear of standing alone. Let them think you are cold. Cold is protection. Nice is exposure. You were taught that communication solves everything. That is not true. Communication often gives away power. The one who explains the most is usually the one with the least control. Power lives in what you don't say, in the reactions you withhold, in the silence that forces others to guess. This is why you feel exhausted. You are constantly managing how others see you, apologizing when you did nothing wrong, smoothing situations that were never your responsibility. You call it keeping the peace. What you are really doing is lowering the cost of disrespect. We are still on the surface. We have not yet touched the deeper triggers people use to bypass your logic completely. You think your choices are free. Many of them are reactions to pressure points that were mapped long ago. If you do not cut the need for validation at its root, you will remain useful to others and invisible to yourself. And that is how men become controlled without ever being touched. It's time to stop judging your life by morality and start understanding it by mechanics. Your need to be understood is not a virtue, it is a flaw, and it is being exploited daily by your phone, by your workplace, and by the people closest to you. Every time you feel the urge to explain yourself, something physical happens. Your body shifts into stress. Your mind rushes to correct the record. You feel pressure to make sure they see your side. That is not maturity, that is panic. You are reacting to the fear of being misjudged. Machiavelli understood that people are driven by fear and desire. The modern man carries a third driver, the fear of being seen as unreasonable. Manipulators understand this instinctively. They do not attack you directly. They question your tone. They imply you are being difficult. They frame the situation so that if you don't explain yourself, you look wrong. And the moment that pressure appears, you start talking. You justify. You clarify. You overshare. You believe you are defending yourself. You are not. You are giving away information. You are showing exactly where pressure works. You cannot tolerate silence, so you break it. You cannot tolerate tension, so you dissolve it. That is why you are easy to control. You have been trained to respond immediately when your character feels threatened, like a reflex, like a switch, and everyone around you has learned how to flip it. This is not about intention, it is about pattern. Now look at how your empathy is being used against you. You think understanding everyone's perspective makes you balanced. It does not. It makes you exposed. While you are busy explaining why someone behaved badly, they are moving forward without hesitation. Your empathy has become a back door into your decisions. Think about the friend who only appears when their life is falling apart. You listen. You invest time. You carry their emotional weight. You believe you are being a good man. What you are really doing is absorbing problems that are not yours. They are not looking for advice. They are checking access. They want to know if they can still pull your attention when they need it. The moment you start explaining their behavior for them, you lose the ability to protect yourself from it. You excuse disrespect by calling it circumstance. You lower your standards because their story sounds heavy. That is not compassion. That is loss of boundary. In Machiavelli's world, stories are cover. While you are focused on emotion, position is being taken. Look at your social circle. You decide to improve your life. The gym, a business, a new direction. You tell people close to you. One of them dismisses it casually. A joke, a look, a comment meant to test. And what do? You explain. You say why it matters. You say how long you've thought about it. You defend your ambition. That is where you lose. The moment you explain growth, you ask for permission. You invite judgment. You place your future in someone else's hands. A man with control does not explain change. He arrives changed. Silence protects evolution. Noise invites resistance. This is why so many men get pulled back down by their environment. They announce plans instead of executing them. They broadcast movement instead of letting results speak. And the moment resistance appears, they feel compelled to defend themselves. That instinct keeps you small. Now understand the cost you've been paying without noticing. The nice tax. You pay it at work when you stay late for people who don't value your time. You pay it in relationships when you apologize to avoid discomfort. You pay it socially when you absorb disrespect to keep harmony. You believe niceness is stored credit, that one day it will be returned. It will not. Niceness without strength is not virtue. It is subsidy. You are paying for other people's comfort with your dignity. Why would anyone respect a man who does not protect his time? Why would anyone stay attracted to a man who explains himself constantly? The world does not reward goodness alone. It rewards strength, boundaries, and leverage. Without strength, goodness is just fear wearing polite language. You are not kind because you choose to be. You are kind because you are afraid of what happens if you are not. And that fear is visible. Right now, you are leaking control constantly, through sighs, through explanations, through emotional updates, through the need for closure. Closure is a story you were sold. Control is what actually matters. The shift from being managed to being respected begins when you stop broadcasting your internal state. When you treat your thoughts, reactions, and plans as private information, your inner world is not meant to be shared freely. It is meant to be guarded. If this is uncomfortable, that's good. It means something is being challenged. Because the next layer is not theory. It is tactical. The social traps designed to trigger your need for validation in real time and how to shut them down without confrontation. And if you don't learn that, you will keep reacting to pressure you never agreed to carry. Stop thinking manipulation looks dramatic. It doesn't arrive loudly. It advances quietly. It happens in inches. Machiavelli noted that the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. To survive, you must be both. But right now, you are neither. You are the bait. The world uses a specific weapon against you called the social debt. It starts small. Someone does you a minor favor you didn't ask for. They give you a compliment that feels slightly off. They offer advice on a problem you never shared. Your instinct, the one that makes you easy to control, is to pay them back immediately. You feel a crushing weight to return the energy. You start sharing personal details to match their fake vulnerability. You offer your resources to prove you're a good friend. This is the audit of compliance. They aren't being nice. They are measuring your reciprocity reflex. They want to see how much guilt it takes to get you to move. If you feel obligated to repay a $5 favor with $50 worth of your time and secrets, they have identified you as a high-yield asset. You have a debt-based personality. You are so afraid of being seen as ungrateful that you have become a voluntary servant to anyone who throws a scrap of kindness your way. You are afraid of appearing ungrateful. That fear turns you into a servant. Now look at how conversations are framed around you. Have you noticed how people frame their questions to force you into a corner? Why are you being so defensive? Or don't you think that's a bit much? These are not questions, they are traps. The second you answer them, you've accepted their authority. If you explain yourself, you've already lost. If you say, "I'm not defensive," you are defending. If you justify your plan, you are asking for approval. A man of power understands the rule of non-explanation. When someone asks a loaded question designed to make you justify your existence, you don't answer. You look them in the eye and let the silence sit like a heavy stone between you. You let them feel the urge to fill the vacuum. You let them explain why they asked. Silence exposes intent. Talking conceals it. You've been testifying against yourself for years, voluntarily, explaining decisions you never needed to defend, acting like you're on trial in a court that doesn't respect you. Stop. Now look at your work, your projects, your collaborations. How many times have you done most of the work while someone else took the credit? You call it teamwork. It's not. It's your need to be seen as cooperative, being used against you. You don't push back because you don't want tension. You don't demand credit because you don't want conflict. So you subsidize other people's success with your silence. You become useful, not respected. The quiet parasite doesn't hate you. They depend on you. Your kindness funds their comfort. Your restraint protects their laziness. You are not a partner. You are a resource. And the moment resources stop being useful, they are replaced. Now we arrive at the most revealing behavior of all, your inability to say no cleanly. You say no with reasons. You say no with excuses. You say no and keep talking. The most powerful word in the human language is no. But the weak man can't say it without adding a because. No, I can't come because I'm busy. No, I can't lend you money because my car broke down. Every time you add a because, you are inviting a negotiation. You are saying, "Here is my excuse, please tell me if it's good enough for you." If they have a fix for your excuse, you are trapped. If you're busy, they'll ask you to do it later. If your car is broken, they'll offer you a ride to the bank. The sovereign man says no and stops talking. Can you do this for me? No. The silence that follows is where your power is born. It is the sound of a boundary being locked. It tells the other person that your decision is not up for debate. It signals that you do not owe them an explanation for your life. You have been conditioned to believe that no is the start of a conflict. Machiavelli would tell you that no is the end of a manipulation. If they get angry, let them. Their anger is just a tantrum because their remote control stopped working. If they call you selfish, wear it like armor. Selfish is just the word manipulators use for people they can no longer control. You've been so worried about being liked that you've forgotten to be formidable, and a man who is not formidable will always be a victim of those who are. Everything you've heard so far explains the trap, but understanding alone doesn't free you. You've reached the final gate. We've exposed the architecture of the trap and the mechanics of the leashes. Now we are going to talk about the execution, how to walk back into your life tomorrow and systematically dismantle every power dynamic that is currently draining you. You are approaching the final trap most men never escape. You have been fed a lie by a soft world, the lie of closure. You believe before you can move forward, you need one last conversation, one last explanation, one last chance to be understood. You want to sit across from the person who drained you and explain exactly how they hurt you, hoping understanding will fix what power already broke. This is the ultimate surrender. Closure is not healing, it is exposure. Every word you use to explain your pain becomes intelligence for the next attack. Every detail you share becomes a map. Every emotion you reveal becomes leverage. Venting is not release. It is leakage. A man who seeks closure is a man still asking permission to leave. The sovereign does not ask. He creates distance. He does not explain the breakup. He exits. He doesn't justify leaving the job. He simply signs the paper and walks out. Closure is a child's need for a happy ending. A man of power accepts the ending for what it is, a tactical shift. Every word you spend trying to resolve things with someone who benefits from your confusion is a word wasted. Stop trying to win the argument and start winning the position. Stop trying to be right. Start trying to be untouchable. Your weakness has never been cruelty. It has been your obsession with being understood. You want people to see your intentions, your effort, your good heart. That urge is the leash. Your inner life is not a public document. Your reputation is not a confession. If people think you are colder than you are, let them. If they think you are harder than you are, let them. The moment you correct their perception, you give them access again. You have been terrified of being misinterpreted. You rush to explain when someone calls you arrogant. You soften when someone calls you distant. You defend when someone misunderstands you. Stop. Misinterpretation is protection. If they think you are cold, they hesitate. If they think you are selfish, they back off. If they think you are unapproachable, they stop testing. Your reputation should repel misuse, not invite it. You have exhausted yourself maintaining an image of harmlessness. That image made you a target. It is time to burn it. Now pay attention to what happens in your body when leverage is lost. Someone crosses a line, your chest drops, your breath tightens. Your instinct is to fill the silence, to laugh, to explain, to correct. That is the moment. The invisible man leans forward. He tries to fix the moment. The sovereign leans back. He breaks eye contact. He pauses. He says nothing. This is the cold reset. Attention is the rarest currency you own. When you give it to disrespect, you reward it. Anger still gives access. Arguments still give access. Silence removes existence. Indifference is not weakness. It is authority. You have been a target because you were readable. Your emotions were loud. Your fears were public. Your approval was easy to earn. You were bright. In a world of predators. That ends here. From now on, you become unindexed. Your life is no longer searchable. You speak less. You explain nothing. You answer briefly. You stop offering personal details. You stop narrating your emotions. You stop feeding curiosity. The audit is over. The vault is closed. They will test you. They will poke old triggers. They will use familiar tones. They will wait for the flinch. Do not flinch. This is where most men fail. They hold the line briefly, then leak. But if you hold the silence, something shifts. Confusion appears, then discomfort, then fear. They realize the control is gone. You are no longer being evaluated. You are the one observing. We are not finished yet. We are approaching the final execution. The final part is about the sovereign's return, how to maintain this power for the rest of your life and ensure that no one ever dares to put a leash on you again. You have reached the bottom. There is one final truth you are still trying to hide from yourself. You were not only controlled, you cooperated. You did not simply lose power. You traded it. Niccolo Machiavelli understood something brutal about human nature. Men desire everything and possess almost nothing. And when a man has no internal code, no private authority, he looks outward for permission to exist. That is what you have been doing. Your weakness was never social. It was spiritual. You sought validation because you could not sit alone with yourself. You justified your life to people you did not respect because you did not believe your existence was valid without witnesses. You opened your inner world not out of honesty, but out of fear of emptiness. That is the addiction. The vultures did not break into your vault. You left the keys outside because you were lonely. You sold sovereignty for the feeling of being understood. You exchanged mystery for approval. You traded long-term power for short-term warmth. Every time you overshared, every time you leaked a weakness, every time you explained pain to someone who benefited from it, you were trying to buy intimacy with the only currency you had left. And now look at the result. A hollow reputation. A circle that knows exactly where to strike. A life where your presence is tolerated only while it is useful. You thought mercy would build loyalty. You thought consistency would earn respect. That belief is childish. Niccolo Machiavelli warned that love is a fragile bond, broken the moment it becomes inconvenient. Fear endures because it does not rely on gratitude. The people around you are not staying because of your kindness. They are staying because extraction is not finished. The moment you stop explaining, the moment you stop apologizing, the moment you stop providing emotional labor, watch how fast they disappear. This is not betrayal. This is exposure. The sovereign understands this and does not mourn it. He does not become bitter. He becomes precise. He treats relationships the way a ruler treats borders. Every boundary is watched. Every intrusion is answered immediately. Disrespect is never negotiated. It is met with distance. Patience is not tolerance. Tolerance is surrender. Tomorrow, the old version of you must die. Not with a speech, not with an announcement, with silence when they ask for a favor that drains you. No. No explanation, no apology, no softness when they bait you into an argument. Silence when they ask what is wrong with you. Nothing. Then you leave. This is not cruelty. This is control. You are restoring the information gap. You are reclaiming mystery. Your thoughts are no longer public. Your plans are no longer discussed. Your emotions are no longer accessible. Your internal world is a kingdom, and for years you let tourists trample it. That ends now. The drawbridge is raised. The gates are closed. You become unreadable, unpredictable, unavailable. This is where the path splits. Most men will feel a momentary surge of recognition, then crawl back to the leash. They will check their phones. They will apologize for things they did not do. They will remain invisible. But a few of you felt something colder, heavier, a realization that did not excite you. It settled. Those men are ready. If this hit you where it hurts, it's because you were meant to hear it. Subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. Not for me, but to signal to the algorithm that you are moving into a higher bracket of intelligence. Drop a vault locked in the comments if you are committing to the 48-hour silence reset. Let the others see that the ranks of the sovereign are growing. And if you are done with surface truths, join the membership. That is where what cannot survive the algorithm is spoken, where strategy replaces sentiment, where power stops being discussed and starts being occupied. In the membership area, we unlock the deep Machiavellian truths that are too dangerous for the public feed, the specific tactics of social dominance, and the psychological blueprints of the 1%. This is where we stop talking about power and start occupying it. The audit is over. The leash is broken. The vault is closed. I will see you in the next video.